Excitedly, Baby hugs the sleeping cat, expressing her readiness to sleep. Roy then mentions that he had previously mentioned a nanny might come soon. He explains that sometime during the week, a nanny responsible for her upbringing will arrive from the royal palace. Concerned, Baby becomes anxious and asks Roy where he will go if the nanny comes. Roy reassures her, stating that he will continue to assist her in the future. He asks if she likes that idea. Baby shakes her head rapidly, indicating she doesn't want him to leave. She asks if he can stay just a little bit longer. Roy smiles gently in response. Roy gently pats Baby's head, reassuring her that it's an honor for him as well to be by her side. He promises that he, Roy, will always be there for her, so she shouldn't worry. As Baby begins to fall asleep, Roy softly tells her that it's getting late in time for her to go to dreamland. Baby drifts off to sleep peacefully, and Roy whispers to her to sleep softly and have sweet dreams, addressing her as Saint. In the middle of the night, Baby wakes up and notices that the cat is on the floor. Still sleepy, she asks the cat if it slept well. The cat stretches and meows in response. Baby is shocked and can't believe her ears when she thinks the cat speaks. The cat remarks that Baby has a bad habit of not sleeping well and almost caused its demise. Baby observes the cat sitting calmly and struggles to understand what's happening, closing her eyes and trying to wake herself up, convinced it must be a dream. The cat, looking at Baby, urges her not to fall asleep again because it has something important to say and has been waiting to talk to her. Baby suddenly realizes that it's not a dream after all, feeling the reality sink in. Baby yells and runs away from the cat in fear, shouting at it to go away. The cat tries to stop her, calling out to her urgently. Baby continues to yell, now calling the cat a monster repeatedly. Frustrated, the cat grabs hold of Baby's clothes, urging her to stop. Startled, Baby falls onto her face on the bed, scared and tearful. She questions why the cat is treating her like a demon. The cat chuckles and asks why Baby is complaining so much. It reminds her of how they first met and how she took care of it. Confused, Baby questions incredulously if their cat is actually a god. Baby notices that the cat has increased in size, which seems strange to her as it was smaller before. Nervously, she wonders if it might be a monster. The cat, sensing her thoughts, rebukes her for comparing it to a mere monster. Baby flinches and nervously questions how the cat knows what she is thinking. The cat explains that it can easily guess her thoughts and assures her that it doesn't plan to harm her. It just wants to talk. Agreeing to stay quiet, Baby listens. The cat praises her for being a good child and asks for her name. Baby hesitates, feeling shy because she hasn't been called by her name often and isn't sure what to say. She tentatively suggests Saintess, but the cat clarifies that it wants a name to call her by. Baby hesitantly suggests Child and then Veshirian, but the cat remains unimpressed with these options. The cat questions how it is possible that Baby doesn't have a name. Blushing, Baby explains that everyone calls her Saintess, and even Violetta doesn't use her name. The cat acknowledges this information. Baby, feeling sad, reflects on being the only one without a name and apologizes. Internally, she feels ashamed and starts to sniffle. The cat comforts her, telling her that it's not something she should be sorry for and that there's no need to be ashamed. The cat then gently wipes away Baby's tears with its tongue. The cat asks Baby what she thinks of it in its current form and decides to call her Vessi, since she's a Veshirian. Baby repeats the name Vessi, and after shaking her head, admits that although it was sudden, she was glad to have a name just for her. The cat emphasizes that names are important and precious, advising her to get another name from someone just as precious in the future. Baby, feeling happy, pats the cat's head and neck, reflecting that she is pleased to have a name from the cat. However, she also wishes that Violetta and Roy would call her by her name. Baby suddenly remembers and asks if the cat's leg is all right, mentioning that it was trembling and limping earlier. The cat clarifies that its leg had just fallen asleep from sitting in one place for too long, not because it was bitten. Baby misinterprets this and becomes anxious, asking if the cat was bitten. The cat reassures her, explaining that its legs fell asleep from sitting too long, which it finds embarrassing as a delegate of the god. Surprised, Baby questions the cat about being a god's delegate. The cat begins to float in the air, emitting a bright light. Baby closes her eyes due to the brightness. Moments later, the cat tells her to open her eyes. When she does, Baby is shocked to see that the cat has transformed into a giant animal with a large horn on its head. Baby is astonished and exclaims that this is not a cat. The creature introduces itself as God's delegate, Bergioka Agiot Vian Yuri Edensila, and says it is there to support her. Baby tries to pronounce the name but struggles, feeling embarrassed. The god's delegate slowly repeats its name, breaking it into parts, but Baby still can't get it right and ends up calling it Buka. The creature accepts the simplified name, acknowledging that since Baby is still young, it must be difficult for her to pronounce the full name. Royd stands outside the room and announces himself, saying he's coming in. Upon entering, he notices that Baby is already awake. Baby excitedly tells him that Buka woke her up and introduces Buka, explaining that they talked together. However, Buka has transformed back into a regular cat and meows. Baby is surprised and confused, grabbing Buka and trying to understand the transformation. Roy comments on the name, asking what Buka means. Baby insists that she didn't make up the name and explains that the cat told her it's a deity from God. She looks to Buka for confirmation. Roy mentions that perhaps Buka doesn't want to talk anymore, which embarrasses Baby because Buka had spoken earlier. Roy reassures Baby that he believes her, but she pouts in frustration. Changing the subject, Roy informs Baby that tonight they will be having meat for dinner, and he heard that tomorrow's dessert will be chocolate bread. Baby reacts with surprise and excitement at the mention of chocolate bread, reflecting internally on how it's a treat she only gets after enduring the unpleasant grass gruel. Roy confirms that the chocolate bread is indeed limited, implying they need to act quickly if they want to enjoy it. Baby is left shocked by the tantalizing prospect of chocolate bread after the grass gruel. Roy expresses his desire to find someone to share a meal with him, to which Baby enthusiastically volunteers herself. He agrees and suggests they go for a delicious meal together, mentioning he has good news to share on the way. However, Baby turns back sadly to look at Buka, concerned about leaving the cat behind. She playfully teases Buka, calling him naughty despite her mixed feelings about leaving him alone. Baby asks Roy about the nanny, and Roy confirms that the nannies he mentioned earlier are expected to arrive tomorrow. He emphasizes the importance of their arrival, noting that even in the royal palace, this is a significant event. Roy also mentions that he requested separate arrangements and starts discussing gifts for the saint. Roy notices that Baby is feeling sad and asks her what's wrong. Baby expresses her concern that the nannies from the palace might not like her because she comes from Scubert's 6th Street, which is considered dirty and avoided by people. She worries that just like the emperor abandoned the place where Violetta was, the nannies might also reject her. Baby reflects on how she was once called a dirty person herself when she first arrived, and she fears facing more disdain if even the nannies become her enemies. Roy reassures Baby, calling her my saintess, and promises her protection. He assures her that if anyone from the palace shows any disrespect towards her, he will immediately remove them. Baby is surprised by this and questions Roy about expelling them even though they come from the palace. Roy confidently asserts that the temple's authority holds significant power, implying that it can supersede palace influence if necessary. Despite Baby feeling a bit skeptical, she considers believing Roy once more this time, hoping his words hold true. Someone informs Roy that the nannies have arrived from the palace. Baby, feeling anxious, clings to Roy. Roy asks Baby if she is ready, and Baby hopes the nannies will be good people. As the nannies enter the room, Baby opens her eyes and looks at them from behind Roy. One of the nannies bows and greets Baby, introducing herself as Lisa and stating they will serve Her Holiness, the Vashirian. Baby is struck by how pretty and nice the nannies seem and encourages herself before greeting them. Seeing Baby's cuteness, 3 of the nannies react with delight. One of the nannies reflects on how adorable Baby is and introduces herself as Valen. Another nanny introduces herself as Sujin, expressing the honor of serving the Vashirian. Baby thanks them and reflects happily that their first meeting seems to be going well. Lisa gently asks where the Vashirian's room is, and Baby points out that it's the room they are in. Lisa flinches in shock, asking if Baby sleeps in that room. Nervously, Baby confirms and then worriedly wonders if she did something wrong. Lisa, enraged, scolds Roy for allowing the child to sleep in such a hard and cold place. She points out that while the residence might be luxurious, it is not suitable for a child's room due to the cold marble floor and luxurious candles, which are not good for a child's health. She emphasizes that the young Vashirian might have been uncomfortable but unable to express it, and stresses the need for greater attentiveness. Roy feels embarrassed, while Baby looks at him. Roy acknowledges Lisa's criticism, admitting that they lack knowledge in childcare and there is much they do not know. He expresses their intention to entrust all authority regarding childcare to Lisa, seeking her guidance due to their inexperience. Lisa agrees, emphasizing the importance of the well-being and happiness of Vashirian. She then moves on to address urgent matters, asking if there is a particular color Vashirian likes. Baby hesitates, but eventually mentions purple. Lisa approves and instructs them to wait outside until the evening. Baby is in disbelief, feeling like she has been expelled and wondering what she did wrong. She reflects that this situation feels familiar and concludes that Lisa seems like a frightening person. Meanwhile, Buka watches her from a distance. Buka hears a message from above, instructing Adensila not to torment the child too much and to help her well. Buka responds that there is no need to say it, as they already understand. Another god delegate questions the goddess, asking why they, and not Ragsila, should protect the child. The goddess replies that it's because Buka is kind. The goddess asks Buka, her cute and kind Burgioka Edensila, to help the child. Buka reflects on their weakened state, speculating that an unknown presence, possibly the child, has taken away all their strength. Buka expresses doubt about protecting the child, feeling so weak that even a small hit would make them collapse. They note that humans who are not protected by God and the Ibn Baroque, weakened over 100 years, are significantly weakened. Buka attributes this to God losing his power at some point. Buka acknowledges that the temple's protective shield has weakened considerably, and if demons were to attack now, there would be no way to respond effectively. Buka recalls how the baby took care of them, remembering the baby saying, "Kitty, don't get sick. I will definitely protect you." Buka finds this amusing, thinking about who is actually protecting whom. Buka resolves to help the child as much as possible while trying to uncover the connection between Eden Visionist and the child. Scene shifts to Baby, who is stunned to see her room beautifully decorated by her nannies. She exclaims enthusiastically, calling out to Roy to come and see. Baby feels overwhelmed with joy, describing the room as feeling like heaven. Lisa explains that some of the furniture was replaced with items brought from the imperial family, hoping that Baby, addressed as Her Holiness Vacharian, likes it. Baby continues to express her excitement, describing the room as incredibly pretty, almost like a space used by an angel. However, she hesitates, implying there's more to say about such a heavenly room. Baby reflects on her feelings, expressing a mixture of joy and apprehension about the increasing happiness she experiences. She wonders if this newfound happiness truly belongs to her. When she hesitates to ask if she can use the whole room, Wirt reassures her warmly. Lisa and the other nannies affirm their support, reassuring Baby that she is precious to them and encouraging her not to worry. Baby blushes and hides her face in Roy's chest, overwhelmed by the affection and attention. She confesses internally that she loves everything so much, attributing her giddy behavior to the unbridled enthusiasm typical of a 5-year-old. Despite her initial apprehensions, Baby declares that she is incredibly happy in this moment and eagerly looks forward to what fun things might happen tomorrow.